Hello, everybody. You're welcome once again to my YouTube page. My YouTube page or my YouTube channel is called Femi Diaries, and we're all about creating positive, uplifting content for our viewers. Content that will keep you encouraged on a daily basis. I'm continuing today on a series I started a little bit back, further back, called Finding Purpose. Now, finding purpose is something I believe is really, really important. I knew I was going to still revisit this topic at some point. I'm planning on also having somebody I really respect jump on another series, not today, but the next one I'll do on this same topic called finding purpose. Because at the end of the whole thing in life, we do want to have a reason or a purpose for our living. If it's just all about making money, I don't think it will be a meaningful life. One of the things that purpose does for us is that it gives us a meaning. It gives us a reason for being here. And I don't believe there's anybody upon the face of the earth that does not have a purpose for his existence. We all have a purpose for existence. Now, the issue is, how do we find that purpose out? Now, just to have a good introduction, you could go back on my YouTube page and find out the first installment I had on this topic called Finding Purpose. That will help you to kind of get to speed with what I'm talking about today. But today, I just wanted to share two nuggets with us that I believe will also help us as we make up our mind to walk in line with our purpose in life. Now, in the first or in the intro session on finding purpose, one of the points I made is that really getting to a place of finding your purpose is you beginning to connect with your heart and what I believe the Creator has called you to do. Now, it's on a very deep level. It's something that you do, the word whispering, kind of like you were listening for a whispering from a very far place. Our hearts begin to yearn for the reason why we were made and brought to this earth. And another thing I shared with us that day was that your purpose is not just one thing. Because, for example, right now, I'm a leader, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and in all these different areas, I wear different hats. So, to each one of these group of people or these populations, I have a purpose towards these people. And that's part of what I do for my purpose. So if you go back and check the intro, you realize that a purpose in life is not just one thing. The same person can wear different caps, if we were to use that word. But in discovering your purpose, it's really difficult for me to believe that you can make a connection with your heart, your real person, which is your spirit. Because man, again, is tripartite. We live in bodies, we have a soul, but we are essentially spirits. We have a spirit, and our spirit is who we really are. Now, making the connection with that part of you will involve you being in connection with the one who created you. And that really there begins to help us to see the importance of reestablishing a relationship with the living God. That will help us to have that area of connection that will really help us in our pursuit and in our desire to find out our purpose in life. So my encouragement when I talk about that is for us to really begin to process and to see that for us to really live out a purpose in life, it will really require us getting connected back to our source. I can't imagine a Sony product, for example. Nobody will know a Sony product better than Sony itself. Nobody will know I have an iPhone here. Nobody will know an iPhone better than Apple itself because they are the manufacturers of the Apple product. So there are things about the product that they make that only they will know about. So there's a very big and a very necessary step we need to take, and that's really getting back into connection with our source. Our source is the living God. And getting back into that connection with Him will really begin to help unfold the reason why we were brought into this world. The second nugget I wanted to share with us has to do with courage. Because for you to accomplish a purpose in life, your purpose in life is going to require a lot of courage. Now, if we go through history and begin to name names of people who really became, great or who pursued a purpose in life, Many times we see that, in fact, the purpose in life actually cost them their lives. You talk about someone like Martin Luther King, for example, or you talk about Mandela, Nelson Mandela. Even though it didn't cost him his life, it cost him quite a bit of time in his life for him to fight for freedom for those people in South Africa. It cost him a lot. It cost him his family. And there's so many examples like that. The Gandhis, and we talk about people who have come, even Malcolm X. There was a drive, it was something from within him that drove him to want to stand for justice, to stand for the people, those who were considered to be, the minority. There was a reason why he pursued the things he did. Now, I'm saying as a second nugget point in this second session of this Finding Purpose series that it's going to require a lot of courage, because when we do find out what it is that we are supposed to be doing, it's not going to be something that we feel we can do. Many people through history have, even talking about Martin Luther King, I talked about him earlier, when he discovered that he was really not just a pastor or a faith-based leader in a congregation, when he found out that he had a higher calling and a purpose in life to fight for minority people, and that would take him to corridors of power, into Washington, into places, where he's talking with the powers that be. I'm sure he almost must have wanted to back out of it sometimes and say, this is kind of not what I really bargained for, because it was going to drive him beyond himself and push him and drive him to a place where he's actually going beyond his ability and his own competency. That's kind of where many times courage is necessary and is born, that we are able to respond to that call. The purpose of our lives many times, it's an invitation to something much greater than ourselves. It's an invitation to something on a wider scale for us to really begin to view and to look into. Courage, they say many times, is not just, it's not with the absence of fear. Now, courage involves fear sometimes. You do feel fear, but the fact that you don't let the fear stop you, the fact that you don't let the fear stop you from moving on and still pursuing and reaching out to that call or to that purpose in life is a justification that you are actually acting in courage. One of the things I've also realized as we make up our minds to not just find our purpose, but to walk in the purpose that we have, is that you'll be surrounded with people that will help you, that will be encouragers, that will help you keep your focus and keep in that direction. And we should also solicit and look for people like that will enable and help us to continue maintaining a perspective and maintaining a focus and reaching towards those things that we were called to do. There was a very, very, very important figure in the New Testament in the Bible called Paul. This was a guy who had a purpose from God that was really beyond him. And at the end of his life, we see he did say that he achieved that purpose in life, but it stretched him. It took him out of his comfort zone. And I think that's another thing we really have to understand, that when we say we are finding our purpose, if we stay in our place of comfort, we will not find out our purpose in life. It will be very difficult for us to really walk in the plan that we were supposed to walk in the things that will help us to establish our reason for being alive. We will many times have to walk and really get out of our comfort zone. Now, it's not an easy thing to do sometimes, but it's necessary. Not only is it necessary, it's beneficial to those around us. Because I do believe that we all have a tribe that we are called to this world to help. I believe that we all have a tribe. Now, there's many books that have been written by great authors that tell us about tribes. There are people that speak the same language we speak. And when I talk about speak the same language, I'm talking about they understand our perspective. They understand where we came from. Now, for example, a Black American here, a minority here in the United States, when he rises to a place of significance and he turns back and talks to his brothers, they will understand where he's coming from, because he also had the same kind of upbringing. He had the same kind of circumstances that surround their lives. So when he speaks to them, he speaks with a very, very clear and very, very persuasive voice, because he knows the struggle that they face. And those people can be said to be his tribesmen. And when he comes back and he talks to them, it's really of great value to them. So in saying that, what am I saying? I'm saying that when we assume to take on and to find out our purpose in life and to walk that path, sometimes it's a lonely path. Sometimes we don't have all the encouragement and all the help we need, but coming out of our comfort zone and trying to move towards and reach towards this calling or to this future that we believe from our hearts that we were called to go to, it will require courage, like I said, but it's going to really be beneficial to those in our tribe, because our tribe are waiting for us. Our tribe are waiting for us to become who we were supposed to become. There are people, maybe people that are not even yet born today, who will be talking about them. I have a 6-year-old, and my 6-year-old is talking about Martin Luther King today. Dr. King died, I believe, in 1966, 68. That's such a long time ago. I wasn't even born yet. But my son, who is 6 years old today, is talking about Martin Luther King. Why is he talking about Martin Luther King? He's talking about him because that man lived out his purpose in life. So today, there are still people talking about him, talking about the legacy he left, talking about stories about how he lived his life and the principles he lived by. And now, today, my 6-year-old also knows who Martin Luther King is. So people, what am I saying in this second session or second installment in this series I've titled Finding Purpose? I'm saying that we will have to maintain a connection with our source, which is our manufacturer, which is God, for us to really, really begin to unveil and unfold the reason for our lives and the purpose for our lives. And I've also shared with us today that it's going to require a lot of courage, but we can find courage through the people that are around us, through those who will help us, even as we make up our mind to walk or to move in the direction of the plan and the purpose for our lives. Also, I'm saying that it will require us to come out of our comfort zone many times. Many times we will not be able to, always have it comfortable if we are really going to reach for it. But I'm also saying to us that it's very, very satisfying and very fulfilling to live out a life in such a way that people turn back and say, you've helped me. You have been of great value to me. You have blessed me. I heard, and I've heard this saying many times, where when we all are 6 feet deep and down and dead, people will not ask, what kind of houses did he have? What kind of cars did he drive? What did he do? What people will remember is who you were and the life you lived and what you did and what value you brought to mankind and what value you brought to this world. That's what we'll all be remembered for. I also remember the statement of a very, very wise man who is long gone today. He said that the most wealthy place in all the world is the cemetery. And he said that because he said in the cemetery are books that were never written, are songs that were never sung, are things that never saw the light of day, because the people who were supposed to birth those things, who were supposed to find their purpose in life and live those things out, died with those dreams on the inside, died with those visions on the inside, never wrote the plays, never did the movies, never acted, never lived out the ideas they had, never became what they were supposed to be, never fulfilled their purpose in life. That great man said that the most wealthy place upon the earth is the grave. Now, my purpose for sharing this video with us is I don't want us to leave this world and take our vision and take the purpose of our life with us. I want us to live it here. Another great thing that same great man of God says is that we want to die empty. We want to have finished everything we were supposed to do in terms of fulfilling the purpose that we have and leave this world empty, having lived out everything, all the dreams, all the ideas, all the wisdom and everything that we're meant to plant into people's life. This is my encouragement to you. This is the reason why Femi Diaries exists today as a YouTube page, to help us, to inspire us, to motivate us, to encourage us to find our purpose in life and to fulfill the reason why we're here. It's been my honor again sharing this series with you, and look out for a third installment in this series called Finding Purpose is coming to you soon. It's been my honor speaking with you once again. I'll see you guys in the next one.